Hello and welcome back to Go City Undercover. This is Bio Enchanted, and today we'll be exploring Festival Square. So let's get to it with a little strawberry car that I liked the look of, so I decided to start the episode in that because I like the little strawberry car. It's a cute little car with a nice little paint job that I liked. So let's see what we can find first, shall we? First we have our flowers. This area we've done most of the most annoying stuff in already, like with the balloons and everything like that, but there's still some fairly frustrating platforming to come. But we'll see that in the upcoming few minutes. Well, this may be one of my least favourite areas to do because of some of the really annoying things that it does, but again we'll see those. Here was me remembering about that little blue wall over there that I completely bypassed on the way down here because I'm a bit of an idiot. Oops, a bit of an angle there, mate. That's not going to do it, is it? There we go. I quite like this little area though. It's nice going around these little alleyways, especially this high up. It feels very interesting to do that. And I quite like the way it's put together. Up there is just a very small super brick, so I don't believe I bother with that. You can already kind of see the route you take to get to it anyway, so there's not really much point of me going all the way down there, because it would be a very slow process getting back because of the sidling ledge being fairly slow in general in this game. But it's fairly obvious, just one down the back of the thing and one over to get that if you ever needed that super brick, but we really don't. Why waste time getting all the way over there? We've got two of the same ones over here, so... I quite like this little really long grinding wheel, that's pretty cool. I like that awning as well with the double layered thing, that's a pretty cool looking awning and I like it. This is just me showing off the vending machines that we do not need because we have all the sheets on, but yeah. This cat's very low down, don't know why he couldn't just jump off himself, I guess he's a cowardly cat. This building's pretty interesting. Generally, I like the look of this area, even if it is a little annoying to actually navigate, because it's a nice looking area. It's very colourful at least, so it's not like the forest where you're getting lost in the same basic areas over and over and over again. It's more varied, so you can at least remember where you are in relation to everything else. So it at least avoids that old problem of exploring and getting a bit lost. As well as being relatively small helps too. I kind of like that coffee thing isn't actually on a table, it's just on like a makeshift pallet. That's a pretty interesting visual at least. It's different to the other tables and I like it for that. Yeah, this episode was the one that had to be very heavily edited because there were some aspects of it that were easy to get lost with. This is just like me showing off this side is identical to the other side. It's just two alternate routes to get the same direction with no extra collectibles in the other one. So I'm not going to show off both sides of the building, just the side I happen to go on. This is me showing the stuff on both sides. I do like the marching band sounds. That's a very interesting choice of ambient music, so it definitely feels very festival-y. There's an interesting aspect to the soundtrack as well. It's a very different kind of It gives this place a kind of ambient sound that other areas somewhat lack. Because the other areas seem to be just fairly silent, so it's interesting to have this place have some kind of a soundtrack, even if it's not really much of one. Before we make use of that, there's some bit of a dick move that I do not like, that I'm going to show off now. Behind here is the red brick. Literally no way to see that unless you're flying in a helicopter. That is just really mean where they hide that one. So even then you're very likely to miss it in a helicopter because you're likely to be travelling at just the right angle there. That's probably my least favourite red brick in the game because of that, because that's just a mean place to put it. So let's finish off P1. There we go. But before we take it, we have something else to show off. My least favourite part of this entire area. This platforming challenge can be quite difficult, although I managed to make it look a lot easier than it is in this recording. Normally I have a lot of trouble getting around this mess. First of all, you have a chicken glide, which is imprecise at the best of times, and that's fine. It's a fairly easy one, but there's a lot of sharp corners. And then we have to land on these little balloons, which, as you can notice, have ropes between some of them, but not all of them. From chicken to shark. Now, I like the balloons, they're an interesting visual, but they're not particularly fun or accurate to platform on, because you can easily accidentally miss a rope or something like that, or a jump and fall a bit short. Partially because the jetpack's really scary, because it can stop you bouncing as high as you need to be for this kind of thing, but there we go. But yeah, you really need to make sure you're just the right height, otherwise it just won't work. But there we are. We've made it past that entire mess. Now the camera's going to get a bit weird on us while we get to the end of the crocodile snout, so we can actually listen in on the hospital stuff. That is probably my least favourite platforming in the game, because even though it doesn't look it, it's actually really hard.
Yes, Doctor. How
Camera's
did
not
the
much help.
operation go?
You're all clear, but don't worry. Once we figure out how the X-ray machine turned you invisible, we'll try to reverse it.
According to your surgeon, the operation was a complete success, so you won't get those sore throats anymore. But I hear you've noticed some side effects, Mrs. Lang.
One or two. Mr. Perkins, I'm afraid I have some very bad news.
Oh?
Yes. The canteen is out of ice cream. You're going to have jelly for pudding.
No. No! Oh, no! Oh, why me?
It never gets any easier.
That's a weird one, because I never hear Americans use pudding. I normally only ever hear it use dessert in that accent, so it feels very weird to hear pudding. It's a very British way of putting it.
The rest of you, and I won't be talking to an empty bed anymore.
I guess it's probably a regional thing, like the whole like Coke versus Pop thing.
You all fixed up, Johnny?
Yeah.
The gang clubbed together and got you these nice ripe peaches.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Ow! You got juice in my eye. So get out of bed, you lazy goof. We got trouble to make over on Carousel Road.
Not too far away, that's not too bad. It's right there. That car was having trouble with that pedestrian there. Like neither of them quite knew where they were supposed to be or what they were supposed to really do, what the etiquette was in that situation. They were both fairly confused. That poor AI. Sometimes this game doesn't quite know what it wants to do with its little people.
Wow.
Characters.
What mayhem do you think we can cause here?
Well, it's already partially on fire.
Whoa,
Let's do
it's
something
the
about
police.
all of this, shall we?
Come on! Bring it on!
I kind of wish there's bowling sound effects when that happens. It's quite satisfying.
Ain't fair.
Not again.
That guy's smart. He's backing away and not trying anything on.
Or I will keep running after you.
He's probably the smartest guy so far because he hasn't even tried to fight us. Won't last much longer, mate. I just want to point something out because it mildly annoyed me. When I was doing, after this recording, when I was buying all the stuff from the shop that I'd got in these last few videos and everything like that, like I normally do, the percentage was really close. It was really teasing me. It was 79.9%. That's just mean. Like, come on, give me that 1%. 1.1%, you tease. I'm so close to 80% in this LP. Figured I'd mention that because I thought it was kind of funny. And it won't really come up in video, it'll only really come up in the thread when I update it properly in there. Oh, whatever, that's good enough. It wasn't quite a free running, more of a tied up running, but yeah. Wow, that pun was a very bad one, sorry. Barely even a pun. Let's free running more track. That might work better as a thing, I don't know. Try and salvage a bad joke, let's move on. And see what character token we'll get for this free run as well. The robot, that's a neat one. Things get a bit weird at some points here as well, explaining exactly what happened in those cases. But for now we have a few other things to explore first of all. Because over here we have something we can break into. With our little fireman buddy. Fireman Sam embezzling from his own station. There was nothing in there but a few studs. That was kind of pointless, really. It seems like there should be more to that. Like maybe that should be one of the vehicle challenges, but it's really weirdly placed, that one. Let's head up here and see what we can get up on this billboard of a very low res limousine. Limousine? No, Rolls Royce, I think, actually. Athena. So I've up for the car in the game, the Athena. I'm an idiot. I can barely read the text in my defense. Look at that stuff. It's very, very, very low res. But it's for the Athena car. I do like that they don't have advertisements for real things in the game, but for in-game products and services. That's a pretty cool little thing. Like advertisements for the museums or for the art galleries, or in that case for that particular in-game car. This is really weird because it feels like there should be more up this building, because we're only halfway up it, but there's literally no way to the top of this building. This is as high as we can get. The helicopter doesn't go high enough to reach anywhere near the roof of the building. It's a very odd building in general because of that. It feels very disjointed because it's just like, it looks like there should be more to it, but there just isn't. It just feels very unsatisfying to scale this particular building. You just get stuck in a small circuit for a few bricks and that's pretty much it. Doesn't really feel like it has much point, to be honest. Over here is where we can steal stuff, so let's get that done, shall we? I do like that we get to steal a hospital vehicle. Now we get a really cool vehicle to steal. Ambulance. Don't bother me, I'm driving in the Panacea. I like that word. Panacea is a really good word in general. I believe Greek for cure-all. from pan being the Greek term for all of something, and of course I guess the essay must have something to do with medicine, but I'm not entirely certain on that side of things. I haven't really looked that one up. I only really know pan from certain other terms like Pangaea, or the entire world, or the uses of the term pan that I've heard in that way. I'll look up the etymology for Panacea and post it in the thread, because I'm actually kind of curious now what the Assayer part actually comes into. Like, yeah, this weird happened because I actually failed that mission that I was going to, and I'm just spawning right on top of here. So I was like, well, fine, this game wants me up here. Well, when in Rome, let's completely break sequence and go over to this clock tower. That was really funny. I was like, what even happened there? It was really confused. Yep, this is a really getting kind of bizarre, isn't it? The game just doesn't know what to do. It's lost completely. It's just so confused right now. It just completely lost itself in its own head there. Of course, the YouTube people also post the actual etymology of Panacea in the description of the video, just so that they can see it as well. I'm not that familiar with that particular term, really. It's more. I think I was thinking more of the pen term, as in penultimate or peninsula, which is almost so near the end, or almost an island, that kind of stuff. That one I know much better because I've heard it in much more places than pan. Maybe Pandemonium may fit into that as well. I'll bring that up as well, just to take a look, see if that's related to that kind of pan, or if that's a different thing entirely. Seems like it could be though. But yeah, up here is how we're actually supposed to get there. If we come up this ladder, we find this. Whoops! Well, let's use it as a shortcut anyway, to get back to the top of the Helter Skelter. So that we can actually drop down into that little area and actually get this mission right for a change. But these missions are so annoying, and this one is equally so because it was just so far away from the starting position. Because of course it's that secondary garage at the fire station that we're preventing a theft from. So of course we have to grind down that cable to get there to the actual car. And it's just such a pain in the ass. Luckily the fire truck got stuck here, so I had a little bit of extra time than normal. It didn't manage to get too far ahead, but also it starts the car facing into a wall. Which is just a little bit shitty, really. It's a bit of a dumb thing to put it in. You don't even land it over the road or anything. But yeah, here I have a lot of trouble. But I somehow managed to pull this one off. I got really lucky here. Really lucky, because this could have gone really poorly. There we are. The truck is just... I'm just caught up with it now, almost. Don't you dare get in my way, little car. Truck vehicle thing. Yeah, I already know it's kind of going to go this way, so I'm just going to make sure. There we go. That's the start. Yeah, this is a particularly, these can be really tricky at times, especially when it gives you a bigger vehicle to chase after, like these guys, because they have a lot more health. So you have a much better chance of accidentally getting them to their ending points without you being able to have a chance to catch up to them when they start running on foot. Because if they get on to that garage on foot, that's also game over. So if you manage to stop them just outside of the garage, there's just no way of winning. You're just going to go straight to their thing while you're jumping out of the car. Just a little bit mean. There we go. Only 2 more vehicle lobbies to do. Which is good because it's my least favourite thing in this whole game. That's so annoying to do.
Yeah.
That guy's fan. Wow, there's a few triplets going on here. There we go. Let's take a look at what this does, shall we? Drops us into an optional sewer level. No, it's just a super brick. We don't need them, but it's always nice to have them. And up here on the hospital was I actually completely forgot that these were up here. So I had a while of editing to cut out re-looking for this particular section of things. So I just forgotten I hadn't cleaned out the hospital entirely because I'm kind of an idiot. And also there's so much stuff in this game to do, it's easy to keep to lose track like that. Luckily after this area there's not that many big areas left. Just a few. And most of them will be much more reasonable as well. And yeah, that's weird that they put the unbuilt version of things back there as well. It's like the one thing that hasn't properly saved. I don't know why it hasn't saved properly. It's a very strange looking thing. Yeah, it's kind of random which of those bricks I end up going for, but I'm more just looking for other things. So if I just happen to see one of those bricks, I'll pick it up while I'm close by. But if it's going to be too far out the way, like a few of them I've kind of ignored, I'm just not going to bother with them. Because again, I've got plenty of everything else to get. Why waste time with something that's not even counted and I don't even need much of anymore? All they are right now is a means to, for a super build. And I've already got way more than I need to actually finish. Oops, sorry wall. To finish those off. Let's quickly circumnavigate the rest of the hospital to see what else we can find here, shall we? Circumnavigate was the wrong word, but yeah. Climb. I think I said that because it's going in a big kind of laps around it almost. Not quite, but kind of halfway to laps. That was just spiteful, sorry. I shouldn't take it out in the hospital itself, that's mean. This is familiar. There's a Caduceus again. Those from the hospital's, I believe that was a Caduceus, the snake wrapped around the staff as a symbol of Mercury. I can't remember if that's two serpents, so I think it might be two serpents, I might be getting the symbols mixed up. I know the Caduceus is generally the hospital thing. Or the staff of Mercury. Just for old time's sake, let's pull down to the other rooftop of the hospital too, just in case there's something else there. Spoilers, there really isn't. It's blank. All that was up there was Natalia that one time. It's a fairly nothing rooftop. See? Just a big horseshoe. Well, hoof anyway, whatever. So let's see what else we can try up here, shall we? This, however, has something we forgot to get. This pig over here. So let's pick him up, shall we? He's getting lonely. And that pig I just completely forgot to go back for. I think I have to look that one up actually off camera. There's always a fun idea to ride a pig to a carnival. What could go wrong? It's not like they're omnivorous or particularly violent. How dangerous could a pig really be? Well, now it's flying, so it's not a problem anymore. Now we have one last thing to do. 5 big bouncies. Boing, boing, boing. Banana. And yes, that was a reference to the Deadpool game, sorry, I enjoyed that game. At least I found it amusing. It wasn't the best, but I'll see you next time. Goodbye.